What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. We are the LittleBigKast.
LittleBigKast.
Hey, on today's show, dinos, robots, and unicorns. Oh my.
Dinos and robots and unicorns. Oh my.
Dinos and robots and unicorns. Oh my. By the way, what is KT?
What are you?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
We will find out. So all this and more. Stay tuned to find out what KT is on episode 27, ladies and gentlemen, of the LittleBigKast.
Like he's a thing.
Welcome. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. My name is Jeff Hawks, and I gotta say, I'm pretty excited to be here. Today we are recording back in the OG room.
Oh, I know, it's been a while.
The OG LBK room, the basement of the library at Weber State University.
Aww.
And I feel pretty good about that.
It's nice. It's really nice. It feels good.
It is. It's nice to be able to look at your beautiful faces.
I know. Instead of fighting the dog and the kids off to the side while I'm looking at a screen.
Rachel's got a cat.
Yeah.
I've got a stinky room that has things leaking through the floorboards.
or you're on the road where it's just like random artwork everywhere.
Yeah, I've got glorious Salvation Army artwork on the walls. It's fantastic.
Good to be home.
It is. It's good to be back.
Are you drinking a Red Bull at like 10 o'clock at night?
What else is
9
new?
o'clock?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. What else is new? I remember now.
So,
I remember now.
I've developed a pretty serious addiction. I really dislike the taste of Red Bull. I don't think it tastes good at all.
It tastes like Smarties, honestly.
It does not taste good.
I'm eating Smarties right now.
And it hurts my stomach.
No, I don't have
But
it.
I have serious
What?
And
There's this
what's,
other thing that
what's
you can do.
possibly weirder about that is as we kind of discussed on last week's podcast, I played a lot of Destiny while I was in Washington, D.C. late at night because I had no one to hang out with and nothing to do.
Which is why you're like level 20 something. We're trying to catch up.
I'm level 21.
Not bad.
I've only got one light level. I'm a little disappointed in that. Because I've spent an ass ton of time farming. Like trying to get some
farming?
Farming and trying to get like some
not my
good
bag. I don't have time to farm.
Legendary engrams. Anyway, you know how they have like little glasses for like whiskey in a hotel?
Yeah.
I just use them with Red Bull. It somehow makes me feel classier than drinking it out of a can. I really dislike, more than even just drinking it and how much I dislike drinking it, drinking out of a can makes it worse.
That's funny.
So if I can put it in one of those cups and I feel like Ron Burgundy playing Destiny, and I
love Scotch.
I dig it. I'm like, I love Destiny. Warlock.
What else have you been up to? Let's just keep rolling.
We'll just keep going.
Yeah, it's hot.
That's a good idea. Can you tell I've drank Red Bull?
No, this is
Your
normal.
eyes are just bloodshot and
my eyes are a little bloodshot. You can tell I'm physically tired, but like also kind of wired, right? So
tired and wired.
I'll just start since I'm talking. First of all, I should probably introduce you guys, right?
Oh yeah.
So with me, as always, the teacher extraordinaire, as we would say in the Philippines, in the Tagalog language, he is the Dakilang Pinuno.
Ooh,
The
that's a
Dakilang
fun one.
Pinuno, Drew Tyler.
What?
Don't say
Either that or to be
class.
like the great tree. I could be that too. Puno. Yeah, it's good. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
Good.
Thanks.
Great tree.
All right.
It could be that or
Grandfather
leader.
Will.
And I'm gonna stick
Or
with
leader,
the I was gonna say
It's okay.
Haitian Latasian, but
I like that one.
yeah, well, it's whatever. But Rachel Hernandez is with us.
Yay, that's
Yay.
me. I'm a mutt.
I call her Keyblades.
Keyblades.
Keyblades McGee.
It's better than the
I have
alternative.
I have these things on my thighs, and it's so funny to watch people like stare at them. And it's like these are girls who wear like chesty stuff,
Yeah.
and guys like stare at them, and then that's what. So this is what it kind of feels like, because I don't wear those low cut things or anything. So it's like
But your
I watch them look at my legs.
are like right across your thigh.
I know, and they're just staring because they don't know what they are.
And for most staring men, they see the handles of the blades.
Right, so
Which,
it's
when I
like-
first saw them, they were still under half a shorts, and
Right.
so I saw egg beaters. I think we've talked about this because the handles are pretty ornate, and I was
I
like,
really love cookie dough.
I love baked goods.
I thought that if she had a shorter pair of shorts on, I'd see like the handle on the side.
If I were going to a grocery store, the aisle I would hang out is the flour aisle. That's the aisle. 'Cause
Like-
I love baked goods.
Anyways, so I like watching humans stare at me, and then I stare at them back, and then I just kind of watch their eyes graze up, and they notice that I'm staring
you're
at them,
aware,
stare at me,
that you're
and
totally
it's like,
And you just lock that
sucker,
gaze and just
then
like
they usually like
break.
look away and pretend it never happened. It's too late,
Like what you
man.
see?
I saw the whole
Nice.
thing.
If these were
Nice.
real, I would stab you with them. Is that what you say?
Sometimes I do. I should. Well, first they're like, "Oh no, it's always a certain thing," and they're always like, "Oh, those are sick tats," and I'm like, you don't know what they are, do you?
What? Just say that. Be like, what? So, what are they? Like, are
they keys? Are they swords? I'm like,
Swords.
Are they swords?
William, come here, your chicken.
All right,
Jeez.
moving on.
yeah, that's
So,
me.
I will just start. Is that cool?
do it.
I'll just
Yeah.
start today.
Do
So, first of all, I have a 4-year-old daughter.
Yes.
And I didn't put this in the show notes, but I'm going to share it because I think it's funny.
She's precious.
She's
is.
very cute. Her name's Olive, and she's totes adorbs. Anyway, so she watched The Frog Princess this week. She's seen it multiple times.
Princess and
but-
the Frog or the Frog Princess?
Oh, sorry, Princess and the Frog.
With Tiana. And,
yeah, with Tiana and all that stuff. Drew knows he's got daughters.
I've got my girl.
Are you familiar
What
with the
men?
show?
I am.
Okay, so this takes place in the South with a lot of like Southern, like real hick,
Like gumbo and
like, yeah. Anyway, I woke up this morning and I come out of my room and she's all, "Hey, Dad." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "I'm hungry." And I was like, "What is going on?" And she's like, "I said I'm hungry, Daddy." And I was like, "What in the
so funny.
world is going on here?" And Claire was like, "She watched The Princess and the Frog, so you're just gonna have to get used to that." And for the next hour that I was home, it was all Southern Olive, and it was really adorable.
That is
So
cute. That's
She's
really
fun.
cute.
She's coming into her own like little weird
that's
personality,
cute.
and I love it. Outside of that, I have something that I learned. You know what? This is my new segment. Today
like
I
that?
learned. I'm gonna have a new segment called Today I Learned.
Today I
Okay?
learned.
And it's gonna be just random weird things.
We got
Today
time
I
for a new
learned-
segment, sure.
We do. Today I learned that the national animal of Scotland, anyone, is a unicorn.
what?
The national animal.
The national
Does not
animal,
exist.
the official animal, is a unicorn.
They would. I
Wait. No, you mean it's a redheaded guy with blue eyes?
No, I mean straight up
A unicorn.
a unicorn. So the land of my forefathers. 2 weeks after I announced that I am kind of a unicorn in that I have blue eyes and red hair, and that's like 0.02% of the entire human race,
It makes sense.
I've learned that the land of my forefathers' national animal
is
is a unicorn. And
Wow.
that, ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
is pretty cool. So that's my Today I Learned.
that is awesome.
You're all welcome. Anyway,
yes.
gaming wise, lots of Destiny. Spend a lot of time with Destiny, as I'm sure both of you have as well. And we'll kind of, I have an issue with the Destiny world. It has nothing to do with the game. It has with reviews that have been coming out. So I kind of want to delve into that a little bit later.
Okay, we can do that.
As usual.
But you know, as far as work goes,
Go ahead.
I.
I was talking to the cockpit.
All right.
Can we bring it in
it's-
on a 22? Thanks. Bring it in a Vector 7.
There we go.
Over.
Is Rachel in the shot?
Tate the 29er. Anyway, moving
tally
on.
lights.
So since this is an audio podcast, I'm going to keep talking while you
Just keep
adjust
going.
the
Just keep going, you're
visuals. I have been working on reconciliations for my company's trade shows that I've been working.
Which you've done a ass ton of.
My eyes feel like they're bleeding. I've been
Spreadsheet after
I've been
spreadsheet?
staring at Excel spreadsheets for the last week, and I really hate Excel spreadsheets. I've been VLOOKUPing, like,
Oh, wow.
you know VLOOKUP? Does everyone know VLOOKUP?
Okay.
Oh, I don't think most
That is the
people
worst.
know that. Wow.
I hate it. It's a great tool when it works, and when it doesn't, it makes you want to kill yourself. So I'm living this life of like in and out of suicide contemplation.
I want your life.
if only I had a
So
VLOOKUP.
excited to graduate.
If only I had a
So
VLOOKUP.
frustrating.
That's funny.
And I'm kind of dragging on, but I do want to also say one other thing.
You got more?
I've been listening to a podcast
Dude, you're so
recently,
busy.
and I've been listening to this for a while. It's a really funny podcast, and if you're out there and you want to listen to a podcast that talks about movies, and it's just like
It
a
could be
Be
us.
Kind rewind kind of movies, it is called the Big Red Barrel Flicks. Okay, and it's three dudes just tearing apart movies. And their movie for last week was Masters of the Universe, that old 1980s He-Man show with Dolph Lundgren and Courtney Cox when she was a baby and still had baby fat. Like she was kind of chubby pre-Friends Courtney Cox.
There's a lot
it's
to rip
hilarious.
Up there. Yeah.
It is hilarious.
That's funny.
They are all huge Star Wars nerds too. These guys are legit nerds. They spent 4 hours per episode of the Star Wars 6 movies. 4 hours per movie. They have 24 hours of podcasting about the Star Wars 6. Wow. And it is the best 24 hours of podcasting outside of the LittleBigKast that you will ever hear.
I think we barely are hitting 27 hours right now. Yep. That's good stuff.
So all of our entire library combined, they have spent talking just about Star Wars.
I'm glad I got something to do with my life. I'm just saying, So this is fun. But
I highly recommend listening to it. It's great.
If you said, let's spend 4 hours talking about one thing, I'd be like,
Destiny.
But that's okay. That's fine. Yeah.
It's a beautiful podcast, so it's a lot of fun. So check it out if you want to. And I'm also
do it.
I'll just pass it.
Go. Nope. Do it. Do it.
All right. I'm a nerd and I read fantasy and sci-fi novels. Okay. Have we talked about this? Did I do this?
Jeff is a nerd. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're.
I host a video game podcast. Newsflash. Spoiler alert. I'm a nerd. I host a video game podcast.
Producer wants to know what we're up to.
Oh, KT?
Yeah.
KT's not here today. We can talk all the schmack we want.
Kidding.
That dude's so Asian. He's so Korean.
Is he though?
So I just finished. He's not Korean? What is he?
I'm Korean.
Cambodian?
Chinese.
Is he Cambodian? I thought he was going to go to Korea to play StarCraft because it's the land of his forefathers.
No, that's just because Koreans are good at StarCraft.
That's it.
That's true. That's not a generalization because it's true.
It's funny because he's not actually tuned in this time, so we have to text him to ask him.
That's
all right. So anyway, I just finished book 2 of a series called Monster Hunter International.
I've heard this.
It's really good. I was very hesitant to get into it, but I've really enjoyed it. So that has been my week. It's a story that basically all the monsters that exist in storybooks are actually real, and the government has a fund set aside that is paid to individuals that kill monsters that are on their kill list. So werewolves are worth a bounty of $40,000, and vampires are worth this much, and the creature from the Black Lagoon is this much. And so
that's rad.
You have these organizations of privatized mercenary groups that go out and hunt monsters. And it's silly, but it's actually very cool and a lot of fun. It's not cool, but it is fun. And I've enjoyed it.
It is cool.
It's cool.
Moving on. Cool. That is my very long-winded.
Man, you've had quite the week.
The thing is, I haven't done much, but I've drank Red Bull.
You got a great story, so it's all just buzzing around up there.
Going.
Hey, this just in. He's Cambodian.
I
knew he was.
Cambodian's cool. That's a good one.
Well, he said Rachel should be able to tell by feel. That's what he said.
I don't know the Cambodians. I've never met one.
Now you have.
If I could go anywhere in the world, on a vacation for real, I would go to Cambodia.
So would you say you'd go on a holiday to Cambodia?
I would.
It's a holiday.
It's holiday in Cambodia.
I would go to the Angkor Wat province of Cambodia.
I'm going forward. This week, let me tell you all that I did as I pushed forward as we're 20 minutes into intros.
That's okay.
It's all good.
This is a special moment.
We are a conversational podcast.
And sometimes we get to the podcast, sometimes we just conversate. So I haven't done a whole lot this week, as usual. Played a lot of Destiny. I've got myself up to level 11 or 12. I'm on Venus, which I found very interesting. We'll talk about the game itself, because we're growing. But I tell you, the most interesting thing of my week is that I had a dream about Rachel last night.
I'm glad to know I'm investing your...
Yeah, I don't know how this happened, but very simply, it went like this.
Hang on.
Did you eat rice
I'm
last
curious
night?
if all of our listeners feel very uncomfortable right now.
Let me explain. It was totally an innocent dream.
We're all a little nervous for the story, so go ahead.
Dream.
Well, the show is just as
I helped her surrender to the authorities. That was the topic.
For what?
You would.
So this is what happened. There was a lady at front of the room doing some sort of speech for rerunning for mayor, or she was some sort of Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians character, Cruella de Vil kind of woman.
Okay.
So she's at the front of the room and she's talking about how she's gonna run for mayor, do something, and Rachel stands up and starts starting a riot. So she just stands up and calls her out and says, "That's screwed up. That's effed up. You're not doing that. You are a liar. You are you corrupt. You're a villain." Whatever it was, I don't remember what. But she calls this lady out, who was like a mayor or something. And so then the next thing I find, scene change. Somehow I'm sitting under a tree. I'm sitting under a tree with this woman and several other people, and there's a SWAT team that has you on the ground like 50 feet away, and Rachel is just on the ground but showing no signs of giving up. She was just one of those crazed fanatics, just screaming at the top of her lungs that everything's corrupt and this woman is wrong. And I just leaned over to the lady and I was like, I know Rachel pretty well. This isn't really Rachel. Let me talk to her. I can talk her down. Let me talk down to her. Rachel. And in my mind, I'm thinking, seriously, if I can get her to just shut up, I can get her maybe down to 5 years instead of a life sentence or something. So that's what I did. I came over, you were splayed out on the ground, and I kneeled down next to you, and I was like, Rachel, it's true. You're okay. Listen to me. You've got to shut the hell up. If you just stop whining, you can get out of this. We can play some sort. I think this consulate.
Did she take your advice?
Yeah, what did I do?
Good question, because I don't think I got through. I woke up because I don't remember.
To be continued.
Yeah, I don't remember you. I do remember you calmed down.
Okay.
And so at least you had heard what I was saying. Anyway, that's my week. Wow. That's
a dream.
That's it. That's all I know.
So let's play a game real fast.
I saved Rachel's life.
Let's play a
I
game.
hope this isn't a premonition, because this is totally something I do.
So first of all, Rachel,
close.
if you're ever going to do that, never get caught.
Right.
Secondly,
you do it from afar, anonymous.
So how could this dream have ended in a very cool way?
How could it have ended?
Yeah, how could it have ended that would be just super badass? Because what I see, what if she grabbed her keyblades and they came to life off her legs, and then she just slice and diced
and
fools.
she'd have to throw me one, because then we'd both come out of it together.
Oh, that would have been
That would be
bad.
awesome.
And then we'd just take them out because it was all part of the plan.
See, the whole time you were telling the story, I was like, let her grab those keyblades.
Let her grab the keyblade. That would be funny.
Just flays, dude.
And Sora comes climbing out of the clouds to
Right,
join
you've
us.
got Mickey Mouse in there too.
Yeah.
'Cause why not?
Anyway,
Mickey shows up and
Listen to
cutting
Mickey.
heads off.
that's about all I did.
Covered in gore.
No, that's about all I did this week. I mean, that's the only thing of note. Played Destiny, dreamed of Rachel saved her life.
School.
I did what?
Yeah,
I
you
left
did love school.
It was awesome. So a friend of mine, we were going to do a mandate, and
Cute.
and when I woke up in the morning, I'd forgotten the mandate part. I was just like, oh, honey, neither of us have anything to do tonight. So as soon as the kids go down, we'll prep our classes, which usually takes an hour or so, and then we can watch a movie together. Like, it was just like a big deal. And then he texted me and he's like, hey, what do you want to do today? And I realized, oh, this is a day off. We're going to go do something tonight. And I went, what if we do it in the middle of the day, and then my 9 to 5 is eaten up and not my honey time. So we jumped in the car, and he's like, I gotta go buy an exercise mat at Sports Authority. It's like, there's one at Station Park, let's go. So we drove all the way down to Station Park and got lots of sugar.
Nice.
And so that was fun. And an exercise mat. So that was good. And then on a whim last night, a friend, after I'd already said, we've got the night together, a friend calls up and goes, hey, 2 of us are going down to Flow Rider, and if we have a third, they'll keep the wave open.
Oh my god.
So I turned to Stace and I was like, is it okay if I go? All right.
It's a great thing of merit. Like,
And you know what? We have a password, like a keyword, that if I drop the keyword, it's a truth serum, and she has to say yes or no if she really is okay. Because relationships, you could just be like, yeah, honey, that's fine, and then you'd see them be like,
you can see it in their face that you're in trouble, but then they've said yes, and so you've said yes to your friend, and then it's like, I'm stuck.
Right. So we have a truth serum. So on the phone, I just called her out. I was just not called her out, but I said, honey, it's cool. Is it okay if I go for an hour and a half and go flow riding? Kimchi. That's our word.
Thanks.
Kimchi. She goes, no, kimchi, it's fine. And as soon as she says that, she we're clear. Where she means it, we're clear. Anyway,
that's a good idea.
You should use that in all your
advice from Drew.
Yep, I have a lot of them. Anyway,
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I love my
I'm going to use that.
Anyway, it works really well, and that was it. And so I was able to go ride, and that was right after I had physical therapy. So as I'm riding the wakeboard, I'm like, I should probably not be doing this.
My back is falling apart.
I'm okay. Anyway, that's me. Rachel, what are you doing?
Well, what did I do? Oh, Destiny. I'm playing Destiny. I picked up my Animal Crossing game for the first time in a week. Took a break from it, guys.
How's,
I know.
how's Animal Crossing doing now that you've been playing Destiny?
did Guardian move in?
It felt good to get back on there. So now I'm getting a lighthouse in my town. I'm trying to get the sweets collection.
Do you
in my
ever?
home.
Can you you can't live stream that, but can you record yourself playing? Because I want to see
That'll
it.
be my video project.
I just want to see you playing. Yes, please,
great.
in my class. I want to see you playing Animal Crossing.
It's just me sitting and drinking coffee and
Talking to animals.
Talking to little. I don't know what this animal is.
Does it feel like an old like Zelda game where you're just like?
Nope.
I guess I don't.
That's how I view it. That's how I picture it too.
Yeah, it's like a
Although I
flat
saw
2D map.
GameCube
Nope, it's
version
3D.
of it years ago.
3D.
It's 3D. So it's on the 3DS. So it's not even like big console screen. It's like this.
Yep.
Interesting.
On the go.
Wow.
Yep. That's what's so convenient.
Well, you just bring it next time so we can watch you play.
Beep, beep, beep. Yep,
Okay.
deal. Boom.
Okay.
Okay. So I picked up Animal Crossing. That was fun. I downloaded PT. Haven't played it because the man friend is too afraid to play it.
Understandable. I wouldn't play it.
He filmed his friends playing it, and they didn't know the camera was there. And just huge kid. He looks just like Jeff, actually, like literally just like Jeff. And he's just swearing, and he stands up and he hands the control off to someone else. He's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. And then he leaves the room.
It is a game unlike any game. Like, so we played. What did
Outlast.
we play? Outlast,
Really
right?
scary.
Really scary, but it's scary in a very loud way.
Jumpy way.
Yeah.
It's
the
scary.
chains
It's
and the
scary in what I mean by loud
penis
is like it's like
sawing.
in your face and it's like loud and just rah,
Yeah.
like slasher kind of feel, right?
Right.
PT is like psychological scary. Like you play PT and
Awful.
genuinely feel uncomfortable. Like you feel kind of dirty
feet
in
in
We
your
can play
heart.
at like 7 a.m. I'll play with you guys.
You feel kind of
I can't play
dirty in
that
your
game.
soul. It's scary. So we still need to do that, and maybe next week is the time to do it. Can we do it next week?
Maybe.
There were some kids too who were like trying to look up our Outlast video, and they're like, "You guys should do this again." I was like, "You know what?
Let's
we
do
should.
it.
Let's
should.
do
It's
it."
Next
been a
week.
while.
Can we do it next week?
We could set it up.
I'm
I
in
mean,
town next week.
Nighttime
Yes.
here in the studio.
Let's do it.
KT's not in town, but we would
Nah.
need PS4 and a camera.
Boom.
The PS4 camera, or do we need more than that? We'll talk logistics
we'll
in
Later.
talk offline.
Anyways,
It'd be
okay.
fun.
So
I do miss it, but I don't know if we did it in the morning. It'd be
Drew
better.
will be getting pizza.
Yeah.
So
You know me.
Drew will disappear after the first 5 minutes.
It's
just
only a
like,
demo. That's the crazy thing. People are freaked out. It's a
I remember
demo.
when Drew disappeared for 4 hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long.
The lights are on
3.5.
upstairs. He's watching My Little Pony
Yeah.
with Josh.
Yeah. Trying to stay sane. That's scary.
So we downloaded PT. Manfred won't play it. And however, I also bad news of the week. I need my third root canal.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you're catching up to
21,
me.
Third root canal.
I think I've had
So
3.
my doctor, my dentist, he looks at my teeth and the X-rays, and he's like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with how you take care of your teeth. There was no sign of a cavity. Your tooth just decided to go bad. That's all. That's what happened. Your tooth just killed itself." And I'm like, "Oh."
That's
It
awkward.
was non-preventive. It was nothing. It was just, meh. This
That's
tooth didn't want to live
terrible.
anymore. It's just
I
gonna-
hate the dentist so much.
So
Oh, wow.
I got to start that next week,
Ask for nitrous
right?
and lots of it. And then when they say, how's that? Say, lower the
Not enough.
oxygen a little
More.
bit. Right? Like, just stop cutting it. Give me the straight stuff and you'll be fine.
I
You'll
won't
be
even
fine.
need it, man. Get the perks after. I'll be feeling
There you go.
lovely.
You know what? That's funny because today and yesterday I've had quite the pain here, and I just got back from the dentist a month ago. So I was like, hey, wouldn't you have seen something going wrong? And now I've got quite a tooth pain. My wife called me in an emergency appointment tomorrow morning to find out if I need another. Didn't I just had
You
one
guys
here?
would be twinners.
Yeah. Man,
Just come.
Oh,
Let's do the podcast with you guys just wasted on Percocet.
I would totally milk it though and be like, honey, I can't teach today. I can't work. I could play Destiny. Hold on.
Darn.
Put the kids
See
outside.
well enough to play
I could
Destiny.
play. Anyway.
So
Oh,
that's
that's good.
That's
good.
my. It's not good.
I mean, your week is good. I was going through the whole shebang. It's
But
great
but
week. I'm sorry.
it's okay. School's good, and
You do have you got beautiful teeth.
we're just gonna do it. I know.
You got beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're pretty
man.
white.
They're
pretty
not,
good
you know,
looking.
braces. I
Pretty
got
white.
braces. I got braces in
They're
4th
straight
grade,
and white.
and I got them off in 6th grade.
That's
So I
good.
went to junior high with just
That's okay.
gleams.
Oh wow. I know. Man, braces scare me. They're so expensive.
They're awful.
You know what scares me? Dentists.
Dentists just
Horrifying.
plain, yeah.
Dentists.
Dentists scare me more than PT scares me.
Wow.
Ooh.
I go into a cold sweat on the dentist chair.
They've
know.
got some tools. that are
Literally go into a cold sweat. I'm terrified of the dentist.
just- we get to go with you.
You know,
Hold your
I
hand.
still hate
Let's
when
do
they
that
talk
next
to
time.
you.
Let's do a live stream
Let's just
from
all
the
go.
dentist
I'm a
office
dentist.
next
You
time.
hate when they talk to you with the stuff
Yeah,
in your mouth.
you know, there's been enough jokes. I feel like where they would know to not talk to you when their hands are in your mouth, but they still do.
Yeah.
Every single time. How was your day? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. What was that? Oh, good. I just
Yeah,
give them
I
a
don't
hand,
like
a
it.
thumbs up.
There's something really
That's it.
unnerving too about like
Yeah.
even the nitrous, like it makes you giggle and stuff, but I don't like being out of it
I love
with
nitrous.
an adult man in the room.
Yeah,
with
no,
me.
that's understandable.
Like an adult man stranger. I know for sure you haven't seen Louis. Have you seen the
I love
episode?
Louis.
Have you seen Louis?
I haven't seen this dentist
There's a good
one, though.
Seinfeld episode.
I don't think
about
it's a dentist one. I think it's a doctor one. And he goes to the doctor and they knock him out, and he like kind of wakes up and the dude's like
near him.
stuff is by him. And it's just unnerving.
I
Anyway,
like Louis.
we should move on. We should move
I was gonna
on.
say, I'm
So
sure I
enough
do.
about the intro.
Credential checks. Hey, 27 minutes into the show. Welcome.
That's
What are we
fine.
talking about?
That's good.
So, are you good for news?
I'm good for news.
Then let's kick it over to Drew for the news.
Okay.
To Drew for the news.
Just do this so you can this is what you always do in place.
That's which one? Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot of news going on. I'll run them down. You guys can throw in your 2 cents. I love what you have on half of your comments, Rachel. So is it Mojang or Mojang? I don't even know.
Oh man.
Mojang is being bought by Microsoft for $2.5 billion. Do you guys know who this is?
Yes.
Minecraft.
This is big.
This is a big deal. Minecraft, but Mojang is guys that make Minecraft, and they're being bought by Microsoft. Who knew that? I don't want to
thought it was
demean it,
Mahjong.
but Mahjong. That's right. That's
That's what I thought it
Mahjong. The solitaire company has now been bought by Microsoft because
this is
Spider
different
does
then.
not get them far enough.
Well,
No,
this is different.
Mojang. So yeah, Microsoft's buying Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft's a big deal.
It's a
It
big
is.
deal, but I don't
It's a very
understand
big
$2.5 billion for
This is a-
something that's like 8-bit. It just
let me
should be divided by 8.
So I follow the breakdown of like video game sales relatively closely. Minecraft has not been out of the top 10 game sales in as long as I've been watching it for the last like 2 years probably. I
that many
cannot
people are
remember. I
constantly
cannot
purchasing?
remember
I remember
constantly purchasing.
people playing Minecraft when I was in high school.
Right,
and then I
right.
graduated high school and started college, and it's still
It's still a thing, and
A
it's still something that's
huge
in the
deal.
top 10 sales every week. This week, Destiny was probably, or last week, Destiny's probably number 1. I'll bet Minecraft's number 6.
Still
but
there.
yes, and
Still,
it's
It
crazy.
never goes away.
It probably-
never goes away.
They have such a wide audience too, because like the young ones play. Like my
They do.
6-year-old nephew has it on every mobile device he can get his hands on, and he kicks ass at it.
Really?
He's like, "Do you want to see my gold skin? Do you want to see my sandstone skin?"
See, and I
I'm
let
like,
my-
"You're 6."
I let my my oldest girl play with her cousins, but it's like all like playground stuff. Like
Yeah.
she doesn't get into the game because if she ever came up to me and was like, "Show me, I'll show you my
So
the skins," I'd be like,
Don't.
"You are too deep into that."
I have a buddy that just deployed to Afghanistan, and he packed a TV and an Xbox 360 with him. And,
Lots of similarities.
So he brought with him like 6 or 7 like AAA titles that he was just like, he just had a kid. He's like, I'm just gonna play through these games because I'm not gonna have time when I come home.
Right.
He took like Red Dead Redemption, Far Cry 3,
Solid.
6 or
All the goodies.
7 seriously like throw like 80 hours into the game. He said on week 2, a friend was like, "Hey, we should pick up Minecraft and just build a city together." And he was like, "That sounds dumb, but I'll give it a shot." He said within a week and a half, the entire barracks that he was assigned to, he would just leave his door open all day, and people would come and work on the city. And they have a city that is like tens and 20 miles worth of area that is built into this incredibly massive city.
Wow.
And he's like, I left my room unlocked the whole time that I was deployed, and which is unheard of.
Right. Wow.
But because everyone was playing with him, like everyone
It
was
was okay.
cool, and he was hooking people up. Nobody stole anything. Nobody was shady. And like I guess you can link like the PlayStation 3s. So the PlayStation, well, I don't know how it works with Xbox, but I think mobile devices, so like iPads, you can log into the same account and build in the same world.
Oh, really?
So they had like 4 or 5 different iPads in the room building while he's building on the 360.
Wow.
And it is
Well, having to
something that
sleep in
people
with
get
your boots on.
absolutely locked into,
yeah.
and just
weird. I never
so this is a
got that
big
far.
purchase, and I read somewhere that Microsoft expects to make their $2.5 billion with a B dollars back by summer 2015.
That's soon.
I
Like
believe
when,
That's
when
their
year?
expectation for breaking even.
Maybe they're going to utilize it for Windows 9 that comes out in
Yeah.
November.
Windows 9 is
Yeah.
instead of being flat and touchscreen, it's going to be block building.
Yeah, so those are my
wow.
thoughts.
That's amazing. I'm glad it's not Mahjong. All right, number 2. Grand Theft Auto 5 arrives PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in November. That's kind of a neat yay because it's been out, right? So 5
is.
now getting the next gen. Yay.
I won't play it.
You know, it's really cool that my characters will be able to I'll be able to transfer all my stuff. At the same time, it's like, why? Why would I purchase $60?
You have to pay for it again, right?
Yeah. I get to keep all my stuff, but it's like just a giant upgrade. That's really all it is.
You get a couple more pixels in your face.
Yay! Better cars, more radio stations.
For me, the game and the story is like, it's just like, it's not interesting to me. Like, I tried to pick up 4 back when it came out. I spent like 4 hours with it. And I was like, Nikolai sounds like a douche. I'm not into this. I'm not going to play this.
So this time you get 3 douches.
I know, and I just wasn't. Yeah, I'm just not into it. But that's cool that it's coming out. A lot of people have been waiting for it, and more importantly, probably is that it's coming to PC. That's big.
Yeah, that's gonna be. That is big. Good. Number 3, and this one seems like we have something like this in news every week, but the PlayStation 4 is number 1 in hardware sales for the 8th consecutive month, remains cumulative leader for the next-gen game consoles. So, no surprise. It's been killing it. It's doing good.
Everyone wants it.
News number 4, concept art leak for Guerrilla's new IP. So we've been talking a little bit about Guerrilla Games' new IP and what it was going to be. We thought we might see something at the cons over the summer. But what was this? What were these?
So there have been some rumors. Yeah, pull them up on the screen. So there have been some rumors about what this was going to be.
Whoa!
And so what it looks like is you've got robot dinosaurs in like a medieval world with like bows and arrows and swords. And I kind of feel like
robot dinosaurs.
I kind of feel like maybe what has happened is that Guerrilla Games went to a 5-year-old and was like, tell me your perfect game. And they were like, you should make a game with robot dinosaurs and bows and arrows. And they were like, actually, that sounds fun.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
This is, I mean, this I don't even know if it's a dinosaur. This dinosaur has no head. It has like a disc
Or maybe
on
that's
its head.
not the head. Maybe that's the tail. Do you think?
Yeah, but the other half of it is like a satellite dish.
Well, maybe that's
tail.
the head.
And then these guys, I can't tell if they're fly
for
fishing.
The people that are listening, describe for us, Drew. What are we looking
exactly what you said. It's a dinosaur robot.
It's a disc on a tail, and then we don't know if it's tail. Maybe it's a neck.
You've got dudes that look like samurais on horses riding to what looks like attack or capture this thing.
But the other guys look like cavemen.
Pull up the other picture. There's 2 more pictures.
Yeah, there was 2.
Hold on. Oh yeah, because we have to click on them now. Sorry, I was like, I clicked a link.
So we got another picture that looks kind of like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with mechanical hardware, like a mechanical jaw.
Steampunk dragon.
It's a steampunk dragon.
Well, chasing deer.
And this picture has no humans in it. It's chasing deer. It's got like blue robot eyes,
little LEDs.
And so
is this the assumed art style, or is this like
these are the concept?
All right, okay,
yeah.
Good concept
art.
This
is them saying like these are the things that like we're pursuing. We still don't have any gameplay. We don't have any trailers, and like 0 information other than just these leaked images. And I think, for me, I think it looks fun. I'm really excited to see what Guerrilla will do.
Yeah.
So they mentioned early leaks, and rumors kind of suggested that the lead character would be a woman with red hair. So we can presume by this photo that she is going to be at least one of possibly 3 main characters.
Guy with a beard, a guy with the samurai outfit, and the one with the red hair and the compound bow.
I like the bear man.
So it looks very cool. I think it looks fun.
This looks like Tremors to me. This mouth, the 3-way mouth on this dinosaur.
So it's kind of outlandish, kind of loud, but I think it looks fun. And Guerrilla makes really good looking games.
Yes.
So I think I'm excited to see what they'll do with it.
Excellent. All right, number 5 news. Check your emails. Bloodborne Alpha invites have been going out, so should you possibly get one? We'd love to hear what you think about it if you get a chance to play, but that alpha test has been coming around.
You can also sign up for beta access. You can put your email address and your PSN name, and I think what they do is they actually check your profile to see if you play often enough or play the kind of games that would make you relevant to the test. But a lot of people have been receiving these alpha test notifications. So check your emails and sign up for that beta because that'll be a lot of fun if you can get access to it.
Release date for that is still like 2015. It's like
February.
It's February.
February 2015.
So it's like 6 months out. Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so then News 6 and News 7. News 6 is you can transfer your Minecraft world from PS3 to PS4 now. So
It's not like there's a graphics problem.
yeah, exactly. Right? It's not like it's upscaled.
I mean, the difference is that you have you can see further into the distance.
Okay, so
much further into the distance.
You transfer your saves across.
Yep.
So that's a good and easy one. And then number 7, and this is kind of a timely news story. Madden NFL 15 is yanking Ray Rice out of the game, knocking him out cold.
Why
I wonder why.
Why did they do that?
You could say they're knocking him the F out.
Knocking him out. So that's the story. I'm not even surprised. I mean, really.
So do you think our listeners are familiar with what's going on here?
Oh, with Ray Rice?
Yeah.
Everyone is.
Should we explain
If I know.
They've heard
briefly?
the name.
But we can kind of go over it.
If I know, they
If I know, I didn't know who he was.
Do you want to explain it?
So this once upon a time there was just kidding. No, you should explain because you know better.
I think he plays for the Baltimore Ravens, right?
He does.
He was the running back. A video recently came out of this guy Ray Rice knocking his fiance out in an elevator. Straight up knocks her out and then like picks her up by the armpits and fireman carries her out of the elevator. It's really disturbing. And
if he would have just used the kimchi, right? Honey, did you want to go down the elevator?
Why didn't they have a safe word?
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's different than that?
Cacao.
So yeah, knocked her out, and the NFL's under a lot of pressure right now, and really under fire from a lot of different groups because it's come out now that the NFL commissioner knew about the video and said he didn't, and he was originally just suspended for a game, and now he's kicked out indefinitely. It's good that I think EA produces Madden, right? Like, it's good that the people behind Madden recognized this and saw and pulled themselves out of this. Like,
right.
it puts them in a very good light. I think it was a very good PR move.
Yeah.
Leaving him in could have been a very bad PR move if the right people had seen it. It could have gone by as a non-issue with nobody even mentioning it. But I think this is a good indication of a company that is very proactively approaching their PR. So as a student of PR, I appreciate that. And that's all I've got to say about that.
And that is the news.
Then let's kick it to the Rach.
Me. Okay, so what do we got? September 19th, just the usual things that have been happening the past few weeks. So September 19th is Flockers, Air Conflicts, Vietnam Ultimate Edition. September 23rd is Disney Infinity 2.0. FIFA 2015, Arcana Heart, and then Flockers again. I don't know. Don't ask me. Fairy Fencer.
Yeah, we talked about Fairy Fencer F. I'm sad.
Yep, right. Right.
Coming on that. Good.
September 24th is Dark Souls 2, Crown of the Ivory King, also Defense Grid. September 30th is Persona 4, Natural Doctrine, Falling Skies, Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishment.
Man, that sounds boring.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Drew's looking forward to it.
It's going to be so repetitive and boring.
We should
Science of deduction.
do an indie game where Drew picks it again.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to
Barf.
on September 30th is Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor.
I'm excited for that.
For the next gens.
Too gory
I know
for
a
me.
lot of people that are pretty pumped on it. October 5th is Skylanders.
What a new Skylanders.
October 7th is Alien Isolation and NBA 2K14. Heating up. Okay, and then October 15th.
That was like an operatic heating up.
Heating up.
Heating up.
Heating up. Okay. October 15th is when things get good. Evil Within comes out. The Walking Dead season 2.
So that's when the entire season is released as a disc, right? So you can get it all together as a disc.
Yeah. And
Pretty
then
soon in November, The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead have full releases on PS4, right? I think. We're not to that point yet, but I'll let you continue.
October 15th is also Borderlands, the pre-sequel, Pac-Man Ghostly Adventures, and Here's to Tierra 2, Heir of their Overlord.
I really wish that Borderlands, the pre-sequel, was coming out on the PS4.
It's not.
It's a PS3, Xbox 360 thing.
You know, it's awful. I honestly should not have gotten a PS4 because I still have so many things to play on the PlayStation 3.
That's okay. You just do it.
I told you, bring it into my office and set it up, and we can still play.
Then you play at school between class. That's a fantastic idea.
Then you come in, you're like, hey, I don't want to do any work right now. I will waste time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, if I had a Vita, I could do that too.
That's a good point.
So yeah, that's what's coming up. And then next week, in the October 23rd, there's lots of great stuff coming out as well. But you have to tune in next week to hear what's coming out then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, listeners.
Cool.
You
So,
can't look it up on your own.
really quick, we are way behind on our Indie Game of the Week stuff. So we're
Yeah.
going to give a quick wrap,
We better wrap.
of The Wolf Among Us.
Yep.
So
Catch us up.
episodes 1 through, we're gonna stop at 3 because Rachel hasn't played 4, and I don't want to spoil it for her. We're gonna kind of briefly talk about, we talked about 1, we'll talk about 2 and 3. Again, this is by Telltale Games, the makers of The Walking Dead.
It's a choose your own adventure.
It is a
style.
choose your own adventure style story where basically you are picking your lines of dialogue and the characters around you react to the things that you say, and they remember. More importantly, they remember the things that you say, and that affects gameplay later on. So, Rachel,
Hello.
plot points. Take us through episode 2 and 3.
2. Okay, so episode 1 leaves off with
Snow White's
head.
head.
And then
Yes.
right at the beginning of the second episode, you find out that it wasn't really Snow White's head. So
Who was it?
It was potioned to be somebody else,
Yes.
somebody else's head, which was the
ogre's
sister of the
sister.
ogre, right?
Yes,
And so
a troll.
it's like it's not the charmed or something, like whatever the word they use, but
Yeah.
it
Glamour.
wasn't
She was a
glamour.
glamour.
It wasn't really Snow White,
She
so I was happy to
cheaply
see that.
glamored. Yeah, so it wasn't really Snow White because some dude has this Snow White fetish and was like, Snow White, okay.
Do you know? We know who it
Yes.
is, right?
We
Okay,
do. So
getting
that
there,
happens
getting
at the end of episode 2. So season 2, episode 2, you're figuring out who glamored this troll to look like Snow White because Snow White is your partner in crime. So you're basically figuring out who it
Or in
is.
crime solving.
Yeah, exactly. Figuring out who it is, getting clues, figuring out if you want to investigate Toad's apartment first or if you want to investigate this dude's room, stuff like that. Pretty much that. And then at the very end, you figure out that it was Ichabod Crane, who is your boss.
The boss,
Who's a
yeah.
perv.
Who is,
Who
he's
is
the
Snow
one.
White's boss.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yes.
Snow White works for him too. So
Yeah,
it's
he
his
has the Snow
dirty
White
man.
fetish, and he.
Has been paying hookers to use glamours
to look like
Snow White while he hooked
What a
up with him.
life.
Right. However, so at the very end, you end up in this hotel room that was just filled with blood, and because the ogre's dead, obviously, her head's slaughtered. So you go into this room, and there's blood everywhere, and Belle's in there. Belle kind of helped you, and the Beast is involved, so that's kind of like.
Did you lie to Beast initially? Did you cover for
I did at
Beauty
the beginning,
initially?
so he almost.
So he was pissed at you.
Yeah, he
Yeah, me
attacked
too.
me.
I covered for it too.
Yeah, and then. But yeah, so.
Beat the smack out of him.
I'm so bad at those controls. It's so awful.
Dude, it's
On the
way
iPads.
harder. It is
On the iPads,
way
it's, yeah,
harder
pop, pop, pop.
on
The DS on the 3.
on the DualShock 3 than it
Oh,
is
man.
on an iPad.
It's like I just learned as soon as there's an action command happening, I just hit L2 and hope that it's
Hope
what's
that it's correct.
hope
That's
that
the
it's
right one.
something because it's just
Yeah.
it's so awful for me to get that. But so yeah, at the end of episode 2, you find out that it's Crane. There's blood everywhere, and you're basically needing to go help tell Snow White that this creep's like gonna kill her. So that's the end of episode 2. Episode 3 picks up at a funeral for the troll, and I'm trying to think what else happens there. Oh yeah, and you sneak in Ichabod's Crane room, and you kind of do some crime stuff, figuring out who he is, what he has, and you find out he's been like taking money from the town and stuff like that.
Just a super shady dude.
Crazy
If I was
man.
gonna pick a
he's
bad,
ugly as
bad
crap.
guy, Ichabod
Right.
would be the guy. Like in the world
It would
of
be.
storytelling, I'd be like Ichabod. You're
He's a
Ichabod.
shifty.
Genius.
Yeah.
He's a shifty-eyed freaking dude, huh?
Yeah, it's the
Adam's apple.
Yeah, that makes him evil.
It's a big nose too. So then you go to, I do remember you go to Toad's house and someone's beating up Toad, and he doesn't tell you who, and his son's at risk. Essentially, little cute little
Oh, I love that.
TJ,
Yeah,
little Toad
yeah.
Jr.
Little TJ.
Little TJ. So that's kind of a thing. So another character that plays a part. But at the very end, you figure out to decide to go to. Oh, and Ariel, the Little Mermaid's helping you out as well.
I
She's
dig
kind of
Ariel.
helping you out. So you go to the brothel, the Puddin' Pie, and
This
you
is still
basically.
episode 2, right?
This is episode 3.
Puddin' pie.
Puddin' Pie.
Well, I think
You go there in 2, right?
Yeah, you go.
You go there
for
too as well,
Bruce's
at
lot,
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you investigate the pimp. Be like,
Right,
yo,
right.
who is
Okay.
this guy?
But you go
And
back
he
in
doesn't.
3.
He doesn't tell you anything, and then in episode 2, he doesn't tell you anything. So then that's
Trash
when
the place.
Ariel helps you out, and she's like, "Oh, this is where we usually go." So that's where you go into the room and you
Right.
figure it out. However, you return to the Puddin' Pie in episode 3, and you're like, "Yo, pimp man, There's some other stuff going down. Where's Crane? Oh, yeah. And then you figure out who's selling cheap glamour. You figure out who's selling fake glamour, and it's some witch. I don't remember the witch's name.
Yep.
I don't know if I could show some of these pictures.
But
Oops.
she's
be careful.
Whoops.
Oh, but yeah, you find out the witch. The witch is selling cheap glamours, and I did not burn her tree. Did you burn her tree?
I did not.
Okay, I didn't either.
I wanted her on my side.
Yes.
But yeah, Snow was pissed.
She was.
But nope. And then you find out who's making fake glamour, and she leads you into the direction where Crane would be. And she says that Crane went to the Puddin' Pie to try and figure out something. He went to go investigate some people or something. So then you go back to that place and you interrogate the main pimp guy dude, bro. And then you go and you find Crane, and he's yelling at Little Mermaid, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And so you chase him out, and you lead him into the streets, and some people are following you, and nonetheless, it is Bloody Mary.
Oh, snap.
Who's chasing you down, and she's got her gun with a silver bullet, man. She shoots you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a silver bullet, and he's a wolf. Oh no! So
she's mean. She's like she's a scary chick.
No mercy, man. So she beats you up too. Like you hit on her a couple times, but she gets you, and then Snow comes and helps you out.
And then the D's
Snow's
come.
like, no. Yep.
The D's and Dumbs.
And Tweedledee and Tweedledee come back, and they're like, yo, guys. Oh yeah, and then you have the option to either kill one of the Dumbs or let them go. I let them go, and Jeff killed him.
I killed the crap out of him.
Really?
So
I
straight up
you let him go.
Tore him in pieces.
And you tore him in pieces.
It was awesome.
Oh, and
as the wolf, right? You wolfed out.
You full out wolf out.
Yeah, you go. Your eyes are
you
yellow.
go full
everything.
wolf out.
It's awesome. In that picture right there. Right.
There.
Yeah, right there. Rah.
Oh, that's Wolfie. Yeah.
However, there's someone in the car. So Bloody Mary has a boss. We don't know his name yet.
We don't.
Nope, I don't. So he's kind of a big deal.
Is this Bloody Mary?
That's Bloody Mary when she goes all
she's
glass.
The broken mirror, Bloody Mary.
When she goes all mirrored
It's
out.
I've not seen her yet.
Yeah, she is scary. This top right one is pretty freaking intense, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I don't want to play this game at night.
So we're gonna move on from The Wolf Among Us as far as our indie game of the week goes.
Right.
We're gonna move on and start covering games more frequently again. But there's a couple of things that I think are worth mentioning. Number one is like if you are into interesting art styles and like just creative forms of storytelling, you really need to play this game. I love
assuming your sensitivities are
right. Assuming you can handle a little bit of rated R content.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
There's a lot of swearing. There is some bubage.
I like the way you say
bube.
So just be aware of that. But that being said, like it's a fantastic story. It's a lot of fun.
It's really cool because it's like I don't know. It's kind of weird to see fairy tales. It was
I love it.
Like, real life fairy tales.
That's the reason why I watch once. It's the only TV show that I actually watch. It's because I love the way they've interlocked these fairy tales that we all know about, and to see them and how they interact and Wolf Among Us has that same feel where they've created this whole network of interactions and things that are true to characters. So
totally, and I love that they've carried baggage over from the fairy tale world, right? Like they're still dealing with not only with the harsh reality of like mid 80s New York City, but also they're dealing with this baggage that they've taken with them from the fairy tale land, you know? Like so I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very cool. So from me, like this is a must play. It's a game that needs to be played. It deserves to be played. What about you guys?
I think it's awesome to play, but I described this as when we did The Walking Dead. It's like lazy gaming. Yeah. So like, don't expect it to, if you want something like fast paced, high picked. It's like if you want something to just chill, push some buttons with, follow a good story.
Tell you a story.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, if you're in a like laid back type of gaming, but if you're like, it's not the game for you. But I suggest it as well. I thought it was awesome.
And Drew?
I enjoyed it. I do like the story from what I've played and watched. Obviously, I'm a little behind you guys, okay, but I've enjoyed it, and it's one of those games that I have to play like discreetly. Right. So I have it on the iPad. It's Smash Time game or something. So probably if you're the father of 3 small girls, this may be one that you play.
It's not the
in your
best
alone time if you have any, which you don't have alone time if you have 3 girls. Right. But yes, no, it's a good game. I do enjoy it. I love the art style and I love the stories as they come together. I actually would eventually will get the Fables comics
Yeah.
and read through those. But right now, there's no place in my house. My kids will pull out the Fraggle Rock comics that I have and read them, and I'm like, oh, good thing I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah. Anyway, so it's good.
Very cool. So pick it up if you want to, and don't if you don't want to.
That's our
but
recommendation.
I wanted
Do what the hell you want to do.
We've got a few minutes left before we got to wrap up. I want to discuss one other thing, and it's Destiny related. So you know what? We've been harping on Destiny a lot recently. We've been talking about it. We've been into it a lot. But you know what? That's what's happening in the gaming world right now is Destiny.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
A lot of people are talking about
I'm
it.
deciding that it's okay because
Jeff's the host.
I'm the host today, and more importantly, like that's what everyone's talking about. Everyone's talking about Destiny. So IGN just released their official review for Destiny today, and I gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed in this review, and also I'm gonna go to Metacritic real fast. I'm frustrated with the reviews that I've seen for this game. So right now on Metacritic, it's sitting at a 77 out of 100. So it's sitting at a C+. But within the critics' reviews, the lowest rating that it's received is a 45 out of 100. And it's got a lot of 60s. A lot of 68s, a lot of 65s. And so I wanted to talk to you guys and get your feel on this, because when I think about a game being reviewed, there are several things that I consider. And in order of probably importance, I would say, first of all, that the game technically has to be sound.
Right.
Like, it has to
Not
work.
glitchy, it has to work.
It has to work, okay?
Easy, yeah.
In fact, I would put that at number 2. The number one most important thing with a video game is that it has to be fun. It's got to be fun.
Can we just call that assumed? But yes, it has to be fun.
Right. It has to be fun.
Enjoyable, entertaining.
Yes.
Like, if it was the most technically sound game in the world with a fantastic story, great controls, great shooting elements, and it wasn't fun, you wouldn't play it.
I was going to say, I wonder if you could get those things without being... I mean, the story is and the shooting, like all those things come together, I think, to create the fun, but we're arguing semantics.
Right. But,
You're right.
So I think fun. I think it has to be technically sound.
You must giggle.
I think, while I don't think it's necessary that it, like, is stunningly beautiful, like, it has to work visually for the story that's being told, for the world that's been created, okay? So those are 3 things that I think end up being very important. You could very easily argue that story comes third. I'm a big story guy. You guys know, and
You're a big
listeners
story
out there
guy.
know that I'm a big story
You're a
guy.
big story guy.
So Destiny, story-wise, is not as strong as it was purported to be. That's just a fact. Like, the story is not as strong and is not as critical to the game as what everyone assumed and what kind of advertising led it.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah.
And so a lot of the reviews that this game is getting, I think, are being based and shaped on what the game was assumed to be, not what the game is. Because I think if you go strictly based on what the game is, with without taking into the hype and the build up and like the expectations that came prior to the game being launched, this game is technically flawless. It's probably the cleanest first-person shooter that I've played. Like,
I think so.
technically, it is masterfully put together.
Yeah.
Visually, it is the best-looking game that I've ever played. Like, when I'm standing on the moon looking at the Earth and watching the sun go around the Earth, and I can see the light on different parts of the Earth as it moves around, like, it is really, truly kind of awe-inspiring to see, like, that kind of
large scale
beauty and visual fidelity within this game. But most important, this game is really fun to play. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I've had a great time playing.
From what I've heard from everyone I've talked to that has played this game, they've had a blast playing it. And so I feel like,
apparently not Jack 147.
I feel like there is a problem in the games, like game journalism world, that they feel like it's okay to review things taking in expectations rather than judging and reviewing something based purely on the
Actuality.
merits
hits,
of the game.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys would agree with?
Well, I also think that, I totally agree with that. I think added to that is that a lot of people have expected this epic storyline or something that's proportional to Halos 1 through 4, where they've got all this, 10 years to play this game.
Right.
But all we've seen is this first initial, hey, here's the world you're going to be living in. And people finish the campaign in like 15 hours and they're like, oh, it's too short, I'm done. But there's so much more.
Which is, first of all, which is also crazy.
Right.
Like, there are a crap ton of games that you'll pay $60 for and get 4 to 6 hours
Right.
of gameplay, and that's it. End of story. This game will take you at least 16 hours to beat the main story, and you still haven't even gotten started.
Doesn't end. No.
Like, beating the main story is just when you get started with this game. Like, so continue. Sorry.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, people aren't the ones that are kind of down on it for that. They heard some hype, which was obviously the marketing department's job to make it explain what this world will be and what it's going to happen, what's going to happen, and then all we're seeing is bits of it. And I think it'll still grow. I think we're going to get DLC. I think we're going to get continued campaigns and strikes and weekend fun. So
right, and totally. And so I had a conversation with a coworker about the game, and he said to me, "How is it that a game like Diablo 3, that essentially at its core does the exact same thing that Destiny does?" Diablo 3 is
it's an MMO.
It's an MMO. You're basically dungeon crawling and grinding to level up.
Yeah.
You're playing the same levels over and over and over again, leveling up your characters. That game has a 97 on Metacritic.
Wow. You got
Destiny
a point. You got a point.
Is scoring a 78 on IGN, and it is essentially the exact same thing, except it's much prettier, and its design and execution, as far as design goes, as far as gameplay goes, technically, it really is flawless. The story is weak, and I'll admit that totally. I wish that it had a story more similar and more heavily invested the way that like a Mass Effect story is told. But I'm having a blast playing this game, and I feel like any score under 85, and even down to 80, like I'm okay with an 80. I could see like an 80 to an 85 and be comfortable with that. But it's like very weird to me, and I feel like a lot of the people that are reviewing these games don't fully understand what the game is doing. So I have a part of the IGN review that I want to read. So this was done by Vince Ingenito, who is one of the reviewers and workers at IGN, and he says Destiny's class and skills system are the biggest victims of this. The Hunter, Warlock, and Titan all do the same things. Stay alive and kill stuff, just in subtly different ways. Everyone can use every weapon type with equal proficiency, and until you get to the very highest levels of endgame gear, class-specific armor mostly just looks different. Next to how well differentiated classes feel in Borderlands 2 or even Battlefield 4, none of the Destiny classes feel like they bring anything indispensable to a party. As a direct result, playing cooperatively with others feels more like shooting stuff with friends rather than a carefully coordinated dungeon party. It is a good time, especially during the excellent cooperative strike missions, but lacks the depth I look for in class-based games. So here's the issue that I take with that. Is if you have done any research on the Vault of Glass, which was released, it's like the big raid that has now released. You have to be levels 26 to even start it. And very few people will even finish it. It's incredibly difficult. There are puzzles that have to be solved throughout it. It is a very complex and difficult
now I want to get
piece of the game.
That's how I feel too,
It's gnarly.
I want to play that.
Yeah, it's awesome, but it's gnarly, and it's very difficult. You have to play with 6 people. You have to create a fire team. You can't join a random team. So it has to be 6 people that you know that you join up with to do this raid. Or to do this, raid. So I've read several different accounts of people that have passed it that say that without like a Warlock Sunsinger, so Sunsinger is a subclass of the Warlock, and it's a heavy support class. So, like people can drop light orbs that replenish your super ability. The Sunsinger's superpower is he turns on fire, and everyone he kills, he drops an orb. So, like, if I go on a killing spree, like if I throw a grenade into a crowd, I'll drop 12 orbs of light, which would replenish 2 separate people's superpowers. Like, you will not complete the raid without 1 or 2 Sunslinger class warlocks throughout this party. You won't beat it without a Titan who can stand in the front of the crowd and take the damage of, you know, these massive swarms of characters. And so I feel like these reviews
they haven't quite got it.
I don't know if they're not understanding the way that the game works. I don't know if they're not understanding.
It takes time. I think the game totally takes time, just because like it's just you have to play the game thoroughly to get the full thing. And then another thing I think is that they're just comparing it to Halo and just comparing it to other things, and they don't realize that this is like
its own thing.
This is not. Yeah, this is not. And they don't mention Halo or anything in these reviews, but it's just like I feel like that's what they were expecting, and this is a whole different take on Bungie. This is something
totally new
that they haven't done, and that's what I think is hard to comprehend. And then I think it's just a game that takes a long time to, like, I put in hours in the game, and honestly I haven't even gotten to the Crucible yet, so it's like
it makes me sick.
I'm scared.
I still get sick in the Crucible, but I've played there a couple of times now. I even had a couple kills once.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Attaboy.
But
the key in the Crucible is to use a freaking auto rifle, dude. Anything other than an auto rifle, you don't shoot fast
I
enough.
was gonna say I'm hiding in the corner with a sniper rifle, but I don't I can't see anybody, and then all of a sudden it's like boom. Anyway, I'm horrible at that kind of the PvP stuff, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the game. I've really enjoyed what little story there is. I've not little, but what people are complaining about story. I think it's fine. I enjoyed it. It drives it.
He mentions like the subclasses, but it's like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not needing this class to be a part of my team, so I can go on myself and play, because half the time I'm not on a fire team or anything, so neither is Drew.
I'm not. I play with myself.
Drew's definitely not.
I have a PS3.
So it's like I don't know.
But we should invite everybody, if you want to, in the descriptions you can link and join our fire team or our clan or whatever group. What do they call them? Groups. In the app you can join ktdata.net group. We'd love to have more people on our group to play with. So you can just find somebody at some hook up, and maybe by the time we all get to 26,
definitely,
we
can all play together. But we've hit 1 hour.
Cool. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us. You could have spent your afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is, whenever it is that you're listening to this right now, you could have spent it anywhere. And instead, you spent it with us.
And we're glad.
And that's sexy.
Unicorn.
We like that. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to email us, littlebigkast@ktdata.net. You can follow us on Twitter @littlebigkast. I am Jeff Hawks. My Twitter handle is @JeffHawks. It's pretty simple. With me today, as always, was Drew the Tyler.
You can hit me at @Night20, KNITE20.
And Rachel Hernandez.
And that is me, and you can get me at Pirate Rachel.
@Pirate Rachel with a 3 instead of an E.
At the pirate.
And so that was us signing out from the Mountain West side of the United States of America. Mountain West side. From the basement of Weber State, this is Little Big Cast signing off.
Bye-bye. Bye.